Hello, divine people. Happy Get Woke Wednesdays. So, if you are new to my channel, hello, how are you, and welcome. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button. If you are returning to my channel or you've seen my channel and you are coming back for more, thank you so much. If you have already subscribed, just know that you are a part of this divine community and you are one of my divines. So thanks again. Okay, so today will mark the 4th episode of this series of Marriage and 99 Problems, but Love Ain't One. I do believe that I have confirmation that today will be the finale of this series. So I'm about 90 to 95% sure that this is going to be the last one. However, I'm just asking the Lord and listening to my intuition. So we do have today is the 4th episode, and today we are going to hit on some heavy-ish. We are going to hit on some heavy issues, probably the most heavy issues that can lay burden on a marriage. One of those issues is going to be cheating, adultery, infidelity. That's 3, but it's all in one. So yeah, that is going to be one of the issues we are going to hit on today. So if you believe that your marriage could use a little TLC, you're going to want to stay tuned because we're about to get real again, right here, right now on Davian's Dish. So I'm not sure if this will surprise you or not. However, in checking into all of these things that I've been checking into regarding marriage, I found that statistically about 16% of people in a marriage have had sex with somebody other than their spouse while they were married. And of course, these statistics, they would have been reported. So who knows, that number could be higher. These are from people who have actually, told their truth, reported their truth, that about 16% of married couples in America have had sex with somebody other than their spouse while they were married. Another interesting statistic is as of 2018, there is just about as many women who cheat on their spouse as do men. For the longest time, the majority of the infidelity, unfortunately, it came from men. Now, women are about just as likely to actually cheat on their spouse as men are. Okay, so before I go on any further, I would really like to repeat something that I actually mentioned in the 2nd episode of this series. And if you have not seen it, by the way, you should check it out. I will have a link right up here. And so what I would like to repeat is anybody who knows me well knows that I'm a very private person. Like, I don't go and tell the world about my life, be it failures or successes. That is just not something I would typically go out and shout to the world. And however, I have recently been able to actually willingly become vulnerable because I believe that this is my purpose. I have gone through probably some of the toughest experiences that a human being can go through in life. Now, please, don't get me wrong when I am not trying to act like I am a victim. In fact, it's the complete opposite. I just believe that this is my purpose. I believe that I've gone through things, experiences, and issues in life because I am supposed to now use that to help others. I actually made a choice, a decision a long time ago that the things that have happened to me, the adversity that I have faced in my life, I am not going to allow it to make me bitter. Rather, I am going to use it for good. I am going to use it to further the Lord's kingdom. And so with that, I just want to, it's a big deal to me. However, I know that these issues that I'm talking about are a big deal to maybe some of you, maybe. Who knows if you've gone through these issues, and perhaps something that I say can help you out. That's what my goal is. That is my ultimate goal. Ultimately, that is what I want to do. That is my purpose, and I believe that I am walking in my purpose, which has allowed me to now be able to come out of my shell and just be a little more vulnerable than ever. How about a lot more? A lot more vulnerable than ever. So, regarding infidelity, if you have ever been cheated on by your spouse or by a significant other in a relationship, you know that immediate sinking feeling that you feel the moment you realize that that breach of trust has been done. I mean, it hurts. It hurts deeply and it hurts really badly, and it hurts us really deep inside. We unsurprisingly begin to question ourselves about ourselves. Am I not pretty enough, lovable enough, good enough? We even go so far as blaming ourselves for the spouse's infidelity. We say things to ourselves like, perhaps I should have done this more, or maybe if I would have done that more often, this wouldn't have happened. So listen, I mean, while you may be right in the things that you begin to recount once you have found out that your loved one has cheated on you. So while you may be right that perhaps you could have done this thing a different way or that thing a better way, it still doesn't make it right. So the act, whatever happened between your spouse and the infidelity, it still does not make it right. Because the fact of the matter is, it is a form of matrimonial betrayal. It is betrayal at its worst. And you know, we all process our betrayal. We all process this issue differently, and that is okay. However, I want to give you tips. This is for the person who has found out that their significant other is cheating, has cheated, and you decide that you want to stay in the marriage and you want to try to make it work. Because we all have a choice, right? We all have a choice in the midst of finding out about the infidelity. We can stay and try to work on our marriage and hopefully rebuild it, or we can walk away because it is too painful or it is too infuriating to deal with and to stay with your loved one, with your spouse. But once you have made your decision and once you have decided to stay in your marriage, I just want to give you some important tips that hopefully will help you, because if you decide to stay in your marriage after infidelity, these are things that need to be done, that must be done. Otherwise, you would have stayed for nothing, because you're staying in order to rebuild your marriage, in order to make your marriage healthy again. And so these things, they must be done if you are going to come out on the other end with a healthy marriage. Number one, you must bury the hatchet. Here's what I mean. So once you have decided to stay in your marriage, you have to bury that hatchet, which means you cannot constantly bring it up. You cannot constantly throw it in your spouse's face. You cannot point out his or her stupid choice, stupid mistake. It is something that you must bury, and do not constantly bring it up if your marriage is going to survive this. Number two, punishment. This kind of goes along with number one, in that, you know, once you have been betrayed, you almost feel like you want your spouse to suffer as much as you are suffering, like you want your spouse to hurt as much as you are hurting. And this is a form of punishment, right? And so if you have decided to stay in your marriage and you are trying to punish your spouse by withholding sex, by withholding love, or simply by not treating them as well as you used to prior to the infidelity, it is not going to work. Like, you have chosen to stay in your marriage, you have chosen to forgive your spouse, and so punishment, it's not a part of the equation. At least not punishment at your hands. Number three, trying to get even with your spouse. So again, this actually goes along with number two, the punishment. So if you feel like you're not going to be able to, have a happy, healthy marriage with your spouse that cheated, unless you get even with them, it's not going to work. Your marriage will not become happy. It's like there's already one instance of infidelity in your marriage, and so adding another to the mix by you, it just won't work out. So if you have chosen to stay, we cannot try to get even with our spouse. Number 4, and this one is for the offender in the marriage. So if you are the one who has done the cheating, or if you are the one who has been cheated on, I am talking to the person who has done the cheating. And that is, you cannot expect your spouse to trust you instantly like they once did, right? Trust, it takes time to build. And in fact, however long your relationship is, however long you've been in a relationship, that's how long that trust has been building up. And so just like in life, it takes a lifetime to build a life, to get some income, to get some finances, to get some savings, to get homes, and all the things that can come out of life. It takes a lifetime. Guess what? It takes a moment for it to all come shattering down. Any stupid mistake, any moment. So it's kind of like that in a marriage and with trust. Trust takes time to build. And so if you have reached your spouse's trust so far as infidelity, I mean, it's a terrible breach of trust, and you just cannot expect that your spouse is going to be able to trust you like they once did instantaneously right away. They are still processing. Just because they have decided to stay with you, it doesn't mean that your apology all of a sudden means more to them than it does. Like, your apology means what it means to them. However much it means, that's what it means. However, when they choose to forgive you, it just is not going to come back as quickly as perhaps you would hope. But don't get me wrong, while your spouse should not be constantly bringing up the ghost of your infidelity, it's just not going to go exactly how you had it prior to the infidelity right away. It's going to take time. And if your reality for a little while means that perhaps you needed, your spouse wants an extra phone call, or wants to know when you're leaving work, or wants to know where you are at most times of the day, that is a small price to pay to save your marriage. So you may need to live with that reality for a while until your spouse is able to get that trust back. And guess what? You are a big part. You play a huge part in your spouse getting that trust back. It does not just happen. You've got to do things in order for that trust to be able to be rebuilt back. That is just the honest truth of the matter. That's pretty much a fact. It's not going to happen overnight. However, if you guys are both really truly wanting and trying to rebuild your marriage, and you want it to work, those are some of the new realities that you may need to live in for a little while. So the other subject that I wanted to touch on today also is, in your vows, in your marriage vows, when we say our vows, it says in sickness and in health. And we will love, honor, cherish, support in sickness and in health. Now, I think that many people take it quite literally, and that's all that they take it as, to be literal. While I do agree that sickness and health is absolutely, it's a literal thing, cancer, car accident, disability. It's like you want your spouse there by your side if you go through these types of sicknesses. I want to let you know that there is more than just that kind of sickness that can go on in a marriage. There is sickness in addiction. There is sickness in mental health issues. And so I just want to give you another perspective. I would never tell you whether to stay or to leave in a marriage when it is you and your spouse that actually needs to be the one to have that conversation and nobody else. You guys need to decide. However, I just want to kind of give you another perspective of it, because sickness, it does come in many forms. It is not just physical ailments. But in the end, you make the best decision for your life, for yourselves and for your life. But I will offer you this. everything that I've spoken about today, my husband and I have dealt with. I'm not going to go in any further details, but I will tell you that my husband and I have dealt with the things that I've spoken with about today. Infidelity, adultery, mental illness, addiction. And so I want to let you know that there is life on the other side of that. There is life that can be breathed back into your marriage on the other side of all of those things. It is a matter of both of you guys wanting it and both of you guys working hard at it. Like, that is the bottom line, period, the end. You both have to want it and you both have to work hard at it. More than that, you both have to have an understanding about your spouse's perspective, right? We cannot always just go on our own perspectives and, oh, you know, he's not giving me this, that, and the other, what I need. It is not only about you. It is about both parties in that marriage. I think that we always just too much, we look at our own selves in our marriage and what our spouse isn't doing for us, rather than looking in the mirror and seeing what we can also do for our spouses. So yeah, I told you guys it was going to be some heavy stuff today, and it was heavy, but you know what? Just know that the Lord, He can lift that heavy burden off of your marriage. Absolutely 100%, there is life after all of those heavy burdens. And my marriage, thanks to the Lord, I will give 100% thanks to the Lord for my marriage, absolutely, because He is the one who got us to where we are today. I am not saying that it's 100% because the Bible says that faith without works is dead. So of course we had to play a role, but I will always give the Lord the glory. So I really hope you guys got something out of this today, and if you did, give me a like and share it. Like, comment, share, because there is somebody on your friends list or somebody on your friends list who may need this message today, so share it. Also, if you have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button and the bell so you will be notified every time I upload a new video, which is twice a week. On Wednesdays, get woke Wednesdays, and Fridays, get fierce Fridays. Okay, you guys, I will see you in my next video. Bye!